Hello, you're watching World Talks, where every word matters. I'm your host, Sasha Farbach. Now, former Polish Prime Minister Mateusz Morawiecki has taken over as chairman of the European Conservatives and Reformists on Tuesday. Now, the pan-European political group is one of the largest in the European Parliament, and Morawiecki was supported by Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, who had held the position since 2020. Now, the ECR is considered Eurosceptic, but has recently built closer ties with mainstream European groups, including the European People's Party, currently the largest in the European Parliament. Now, the ECR includes, among others, the Brothers of Italy, Law and Justice, and the Czech Civic Democratic Party. So, what does the former Polish Prime Minister's new role mean for Brussels? Does this give Poland's Law and Justice a bigger platform on European issues? To discuss all this, I'm joined in the studio by Piotr Maciej Kaczyński, EU expert, Warsaw-based Geremek Foundation. Good to have you.
Good evening. Good to be back.
So, with Morawiecki, let's begin. Let's talk about the significance of this particular role. Head of the ECR, that sounds very powerful, but in reality, what can you do with this?
Basically, he's a secretary of ECR leaders. But who are ECR leaders? There are only two ECR leaders out there in the European Council right now. That's Giorgia Meloni and Prime Minister of Czech Republic. That's about it. So he is the secretary of those two people. That's it. So it's not a really important job. Also, it's not a job for peace. It's not a job for law and justice. This is a job for Mr. Morawiecki. It's an individual job. So there you have it. It's not really super important. Mr. Donald Tusk, who was the president of the European People's Party for a couple of years, he resigned from this post because it's not really a very powerful place. Let's put it this way.
But then explain to us then, because we had Giorgia Meloni, very much someone who was also prime minister, right. Also head of this organization. So how does she fit in this? And also their visions, they seem rather different on how they approach Europe.
So 2 points here. First, Giorgia Meloni being the head of ECR, that's an exception to the rule rather than the rule. For example, president of the Party of European Socialists is a former Prime Minister of Sweden. President of ECR is a former Prime Minister of Poland. Former president of the European People's Party was a former Polish Prime Minister. When he became president of Civic Platform, he no longer wanted to be president of the EPP. So that is the most important element here, former. That's point number one. Point number two, already after Mr. Morawiecki became president of the ECR, there are voices from ECR saying, hang on, this is not a platform for law and justice. This is European group where those political parties are different. Meloni has her agenda, Luxembourg people are their agenda, and law and justice has their agenda. So this is what Mr. Morawiecki needs to respect. And whether he's going to respect this, we'll see.
Well, that's my next question, because I think he himself, as Prime Minister, former Prime Minister of Poland, was very much on a very different course, a very thorny relationship with Brussels, now in this grouping. So I think he faces sort of an interesting choice here, because we've seen, I think, very much through the efforts of Meloni, that she's made this whole grouping more digestible with the mainstream, right? So is he now going to have any impact? Will he now undo that? What's his strategy going to be, you think?
Is it digestible? That's a very good question, because the ECR group became much more Italian. Italians of ECR are digestible. Whether the Polish of ECR are digestible, well, we've seen in 2024 that a few of law and justice politicians in the European Parliament got their places in the European Parliament, like president or chairman of one of the Parliament committee. So it's happening. But if you ask people from the EPP, they are not so respectful about the Polish ECR people. And the Polish EPP is quite powerful. So when Mr. Morawiecki is saying that he has a vision, he's seeing a platform where far right and right and the right of the EPP can cooperate on some issues, he's right. They can cooperate. But whether it will be Mr. Morawiecki who's kind of building this block, I doubt that.
And do you see this for Morawiecki as a kind of Is it an escape to Brussels? Is this a springboard for maybe something else back in Poland, in national party politics? What's his game here?
Definitely. This is a position that is not really as important Europe-wide, though Mr. Morawiecki had quite a few of those nice-looking, good-looking speeches around the vision of Europe. So that is something that he understands and he identifies somehow with. Fair enough. But this move is definitely strengthening his position back home in Poland, in the Polish politics, where he has now a platform as this kind of European visionary for the right-wing bloc out there. And that is something that Law and Justice has been missing. So as a voice inside Poland about what is the stance of Law and Justice in the future, that's actually very interesting, because we need to ask Law and Justice what will happen with the party vis-à-vis EU. And there are some voices of some politicians who are let's say, they are saying that they are quite let's say, negative about what will happen with Law and Justice, that they will get more radical when it comes to the EU. And maybe Morawieckis is trying to pull it back to the mainstream. We'll see where he will be placed within the Law and Justice.
Mm-hmm. Now, you said potentially the role itself maybe not so much powerful, but it is yet another way where he can use that leverage, use that platform to speak. So it will be heard. Now we have the Polish presidency of the Rotating EU Council now also starting in January, also a different type of vision for Europe. So how much is this going to, let's say, clash in these two visions? I mean, it's in some ways not fully complementary, is it?
The thing is that those visions are not that far apart, as one might see looking at, for example, Polish politics, where Law and Justice and the Civic Platform are they are fighting pretty much on almost everything. When it comes to vision of Europe, the Polish presidency of the Council of the EU and their program, and the vision of Law and Justice with Morawiecki, who's the face of this, that's not that different. The biggest threat is in the East for both of them. Security is the biggest issue right now for both of them. Russia is a threat. The Trump administration is not a threat, but an opportunity, maybe more for ECR, a bit of a threat for mainstream, but the mainstream also is trying to get new opportunities. If you, for example, follow Mr. Merz, who is a candidate in Germany to be next chancellor. So he is looking for those potential opportunities as well.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned Trump. I have to ask, because I mean, traditionally, ironically, the ECR came to life very much through the Conservative Party. The Tories under David Cameron are no longer in the European Union. They have that link with the Republican Party as well. So there's speculation that Morawiecki has actually received an invitation now to the inauguration. So what do you think of that line? Whether he goes or not, what's his play here with Trump?
There's a competition on the right side of the European politics vis-à-vis the party of Mr. Trump. For example, there is the Patriots. The Patriots are for Europe, right? That's Mr. Orban platform. And right now Morawiecki's platform is ECR, Meloni, Morawiecki. So those two are competing for attention in Washington. But Washington is seeing one person, and that's Giorgia Meloni on the right side, right? Not Mr. Orban, not Mr. Morawiecki, but Meloni. Why? Because she is the prime minister, powerful prime minister in one of the biggest economy in Europe.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. And she also recently in Florida, I believe, meeting Trump as well.
Right, but and then there is a very small and very important note to add. That is relationship between the Italians of ECR with the EPP. Mm-hmm. Because there is a relationship between Weber, that's the president of EPP, and the ECR members from Italy. There is this relationship, and it was more. It was there, for example, when the Italian commissioner was supposed to be blocked or not. EPP was defending him as if he was from the EPP.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why I'm saying, like, the mainstream has sort of accepted, at least the EPP has accepted ECR to an extent.
About 2 years ago, I've heard a gossip and following the kind of how it looks like the development, it's kind of going that way. Not exactly, not one-to-one, but the getting together between Italian right-wingers and the EPP. This is the story out there. This is what Mr. Weber wants to see, to integrate the biggest political party on the right side in Italy with the biggest right-wing grouping in Europe, that is the European People's Party. Whether Meloni switches sides from ECR to EPP, this is a question that we should probably put on the agenda right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I think you've said that, you know, these allegiances tend to be very malleable. I mean, not that long ago, Vox from Spain, they jumped ship, right? They joined the Patriots as well.
Right, from ECR, yeah.
From ECR, right? So could you see also, and I think there's one independent MEP as well now from ECR, also from Croatia. How much is there of that, let's say, possibility that once again we can have radical elements, be that the polls, maybe will they be pushed out of ECR? As you said, will Meloni maybe make that jump with her brothers of Italy?
Only last May, it was Morawiecki himself saying that law and justice is 50-50 in ECR or the Patriots, the Orban Patriots. So this kind of situation where on the right side of EPP you have ECR, the Patriots, and even more radical groupings with the German AfD, then you see that there is a movement out there, and this is not going to be there forever. Something between ECR and Patriots will be happening here. What kind of merger, what kind of cooperation is possible here, and what are the problems? The biggest problem so far has been the East. Security question for Mr. Orban. That is what stopped Mr. Morawiecki, for example, for cooperating with Orban within ECR, for example.
Mm-hmm. Let's also return a little bit to Morawiecki just at the end here. I mean, he's also someone, former prime minister, as we've mentioned, but there are certain investigations, probes going on right now into, during that time when he was prime minister, the cash for visa scandal, the 2020 mail ballot election. So how much will that now be a liability for him and hang over him?
When it comes to court, it can become liability. We see that there a lot of politicians have some sort of legal proceedings against them. So the moment it becomes kind of in cooking, becomes ready to be considered for real, then it becomes a problem. But for now, not yet. Things like this. Antonio Costa has his problems. You have the biggest name in French politics outside the camp of Mr. Macron. That is Ms. Le Pen. She's actually is going to see whether in March, whether she can be a candidate again in the future for anything. In the parliament, European Parliament, presidency, all of this can be stopped by the court. The question is now, in March 2025, not before, not like 5 or 7 years ago, when all those problems started to be there. And Mr. Morawiecki has those questions as well. Whether they will come back to hunt him, we don't know yet.
Right, so we for sure have a role that will be significant, will be impactful. We'll have to wait and see.
But definitely he's a figure to watch on European politics and in Polish politics right now, because this is some kind of a new outfit for Mr. Morawiecki.
And also very much the focus on Poland remains from every side. So thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Always a pleasure.
Thank you, Sasha.
And thank you for watching. That concludes this edition of World Talks. But stay tuned, much more coming up right here on TVP World.